Hey, what is up everyone? We're back with another ranking video, and this time it's the Blunderbusses, which I actually had y'all rank. So we're going to go through your top 10 Blunderbusses of all of Sea of Thieves. So this ranking was kind of interesting because it wasn't like a clear-cut winner. We do have winners and stuff, which got the most votes, but the votes were very spread out between all the different Blunderbusses, which is kind of nice to see. It's good to see that there's not just a clear winner. When we've done this in the past with, say, like the sale ranking video, we had like a huge margin for the Dark Adventurer sales, and y'all know my feelings on the Dark Adventurer sales, but it's nice to see with this that everyone has their favorite and it's a bit more spread out, which means that your favorite choice is probably more unique than, say, your favorite sale or something. So that's just something interesting to keep in mind as we go through this. Pretty much everything in this top 10 list didn't even get more than 7% of the vote. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying that it's like pretty spread out for all the votes. We got a little under 200 responses for this, so we got a pretty good size audience, and I'm appreciative of all of y'all that came and voted for this. So let's go ahead and get into our number 10 spot. At number 10 we have the legendary Blunderbuss. So this is one that you could have gotten if you're a pirate legend and you had the legendary Sea Dog title. That was the thing where you did like I think 240 first place wins in the arena as a pirate legend, which now you can't unlock that anymore because the arena was shut down. This one is a really nice looking Blunderbuss. There is of course the new version that you can get, and it looks fine. I think both look really good. This one is the original one, and I really do think the purple looks good on here. The shade of purple they used for this one looks really nice. It's like a lighter purple than they've done on some of the other stuff. And then you have the gold chains wrapping around the end of it. All of it looks really cool to me. Our next Blunderbuss is one from last season, and this is the Blooming Barrel Blunderbuss. This one is a very interesting design. It has flowers on the end and all sorts of stuff. It's definitely not one of my favorites. It's not one that I typically use, but I do think the design is unique, and I think it's pretty cool. It would be interesting if they had like a little bit of animation with it, maybe if the flowers at the end like moved a bit or something, or maybe if you shot like little pollen pops off of it. I think something like that would be cool, but from what I can tell, there's nothing like that. Number 8 and number 7 actually got a tie for the votes, and this one for number 8 is one that I would love to get one day that I haven't obtained yet, and this is the Midnight Blunderbuss. So I'd like to think of this as part of the Obsidian set. It's technically part of the Black Dog set, similar to the pistol and stuff that you see me use all the time, and is one of my favorites in the game. This one looks very similar to the pistol, and it's just such a nice design. It's got that sleek black color with the silver mixed in with some like emerald color gems all over it. I really like this one. I hope to find a way to unlock it someday, maybe through a Twitch drop or however they are going to give it. I think they give the partners codes for this, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have number 7 with the Blunderbuss of the Wailing Barnacle. Now I'm kind of curious if people just voted for this one because that's what I had on the picture for like the invite to like vote for this. That would be kind of funny if that was the reason. This Blunderbuss is great. I kind of just chose it randomly, to be honest, when I made that picture. But what I like about this one, the blue like worn down coloring on the side there, and then even the barrel and stuff in that like kind of like rusty copper-ish color. It all kind of looks like it's been underwater, similar to like what the Wailing Barnacle set is known for. And this just looks really nice to me. Moving on to number 6, we have the Silverblade Blunderbuss. This one is nice. I don't really have much to say on it. It's not my favorite Blunderbuss in the game. I actually prefer the reskin they have of this instead. But the Silverblade Blunderbuss looks really great, and it's something that if you don't know you can unlock from the Insider program by doing a certain amount of weeks for that. And yeah, I think it's a good choice for number 6. What I can't really say is a good choice for this list is what we have at number 5. And number 5, 4, and 3 also got tied. So number 5 is the Golden Sailor Blunderbuss. Now, don't get me wrong, like what you like and stuff, but this is just the default Blunderbuss with the gold barrel. I'm sorry, how does this make it to number 5 and it beats like the Midnight Blunderbuss and the legendary Blunderbuss? Like, I feel like this is just a meme. Some people were trolling, but It's pretty funny. Yo, what are you doing over here? Like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you genuinely, like, this is your favorite blunderbuss, or is this just a joke? Because I can't even tell at this point. But moving on, let's look at number 4. We have the Ferryman Blunderbuss. Now, the Ferryman Blunderbuss looks really cool. I had actually never seen this before making this video, and it looks very similar to the legendary blunderbuss and variants of that, where it has like the chains on the end and stuff. But this one has a really unique like color styling with it, and I'm a big fan of it. This is another one that's exclusive that you can't get anymore. This one I believe came with the Xbox controller, and you know that kind of sucks that you can't get it anymore, but for those that do have it, this is definitely a cool one to have. At number 3, it couldn't be a community list without this one, and this is the Dark Adventurer Blunderbuss. So, the community loves the Dark Adventurer set, and while I may not like the Dark Adventurer sails that much, I do really like the weapons they have, and the Blunderbuss is no different. I really love on the top they have like the Dark Athena's fortune symbol on it, and I think that looks really cool. The coloring is fine, you know, it's just the grays and stuff. Nothing too interesting. It's not as striking as say like the Midnight Blunderbuss or something like that. The red wrapping around it is pretty interesting, and then like you have the red like ruby colored gems covering it. All of that together I think makes a nice little package there. And it's one of the few on this list that you can actually still unlock. This next one on number 2 is another one that you can still unlock, and I gotta be honest, not my favorite. I don't even think it looks that good. This is the Blunderbusses of the Silent Barnacle. Now, I really like the Blunderbuss of the Wailing Barnacle. That was the blue one that we looked at earlier. This one is just like, you take out the striking blue color, and it just almost looks like the default Blunderbuss if it was just left in the water for a long time. Which, I get that's kind of the theme they're going with, but as a number 2 for all of the Blunderbusses in the game, that's a bit disappointing to me. For those wondering, this one got 5.6% of the vote. Our next one at number 1 got 6.2% of the vote, and this is the Golden Legendary Blunderbuss. Now this is basically a reskin of the Legendary Blunderbuss, but this one looks far better. This is one I'm disappointed that I don't have, because you had to have become Pirate Legend prior to March 20th of 2019, which would have been the 1-year anniversary of Sea of Thieves. This one just looks so much more striking with like the bright gold color, the nice green emeralds covering the whole thing, and it's kind of the reverse. You have, instead of gold chains, you have silver chains, and then like the rest of the body's all gold. I think this looks phenomenal, and I'm really disappointed I don't have this one. This and the Midnight Blunderbuss are two that I would really love to have on my account. But those are y'all's rankings, some really good blunderbusses in that list. I will real quick just go over my top 3 blunderbusses in the game, since I'm not going to make another video covering over my list. So number 3 would be the Order of Souls blunderbuss. I really think this has a unique shape and design to it, and it looks very cool while holding it. I really like the ones that are unique shapes and stuff, because it just looks different than everything else. Because while the blunderbusses can have really nice designs to them, like when you're looking at them like while someone else is holding it, or you're just looking at a picture of it, when you're actually holding it, a lot of the blunderbusses look very similar to each other, and you can't really see like the bits of detail that the designers put into it. My number 2 choice kind of has this problem where it looks better from the outside than when you're holding it, but I still think it just looks really cool and kind of intimidating in some ways. And this is the Tribute Peak Blunderbuss. I really like the skull shape they have on the barrel, and I just think the whole design looks really good together. But my number 1 choice, at least currently, it's the Sapphire Blade Blunderbuss. This is kind of what I was alluding to with the community list for number 6 with the Silver Blade Blunderbuss. While that one's good, I really think the Sapphire Blade Blunderbuss just is a far better design, and the color choices just look so much better, and they pop a lot more than the Silver Blade one did. But that's my list and y'all's list of the best blunderbusses in the game. Let me know how many of these blunderbusses you have in your account, and which one was your personal favorite in the comments below. But that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, it'd be great if you left a like and subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye y'all.